that was like right when we came to America. We had a ride home with like a random Israeli in a van, my dad. And that Israeli decided to put on a YouTube video and made us listen to it. I was like, I gotta listen to this. I just want to go home. But like, as much as I didn't understand it back then, I still remember and reflect upon that story that I heard. Why are you recording? This one. So the story goes like this. There's a guy named Shmorley. Pick the most Jewish name. His family just became religious, okay? And they didn't really know any like halacha or like laws. They're just making like they're like going with like and he wasn't fortunate enough to like have Sidurim and Torah that has a translation in English or in any language that you want. And he didn't speak Hebrew. He didn't live in America. He didn't live in Israel. He lived in like a third world country that had no Hebrew lessons. And he was a good person. He honestly was a good person. And as his life went on, he did things that he's proud of and things that he wasn't proud of. What I'm really talking about is what happened after his life. We had this concept of Gehenom and Gan Eden. Gehenom, don't misunderstand it, it's not hell. Gehenom is a certain place you go to for a certain time period, just so you can repent and have remorse for your life experience or whatever you did. So this guy went up, and if you know or don't know, once you get married, you have a 6-month period where you stay in here, and then your Hashem goes up to Hashem. And he went up to Hashem, he's being judged. He's standing in front of a HaKadosh Baruch Hu with an angel by his side. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu reflected upon his life right in front of him. And he asked him a very important question. He asked him, since you're a religious Jew, how come you've never ever learned my Torah that I gave you? Or never like davened to me the words that I gave you? And this guy, he explained to him, he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't have the Hebrew, no one was there to help me. There's really like no way that I could find like what I needed to do. And he said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna give you a deal. Just because you didn't have like the privilege like everybody else to like listen and like learn Torah with Hebrew, I'll let you go to both Gehenom and both Gan Eden, and you can choose which one you like better. Shmurli knew this wasn't right. Like he knew he should have gone to Gehenom for a certain amount of time to repent, but since he made a good excuse, which was like solid, he had the chance of going to either one. So he started out in Gan Eden. Gan Eden is the most beautiful place ever. But since Shmurli is from a third world country, he's like, it's too like happy for me. There's nothing going around. It's just too boring. If you live happy, that's it. So he called an angel, and the angel gave him a document from God. And the document stated that he could go to Gehenom, and if he doesn't like it, he could call back the angel, and the angel will come up back. And he went to Gehenom. He spent a good a decent amount of time. More than he would have gotten Eden. And at first he loved it. He's like, oh, it's actually not that bad. I don't mind being here for a certain amount of time. And after a month, let's say a month, he decided he hated it. He saw that the people there were terrible. He saw that the people there, it was hot, it's steamy in Gehenom. It's not comfortable. It's not a life like. It's not somewhere you want to be. Let's just put it down. And he called that angel back up. He called the angel back down. And the angel came. He of course carried the document with him everywhere he went, because that was his only key to get in. And the angel came down, and Shmurli gave him the document and explained to him the situation. And the angel then looked at him, and he's like, I'm sorry, I don't read Hebrew. Shmurli said, like what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't read Hebrew. I don't know what this document is saying. I'm sorry, you're stuck in prayer. Not for the certain amount of time they need to repent. So, what the story is going to tell us is that even though sometimes you do have good excuses and you could explain to us why you didn't do something that you should be doing in the first place, you should still try to Okay. This summer, I won Euro Ice.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm privileged to like be around one like the amazing staff that I was, and what I consider the biggest battle hop I've ever made in my life, Rabbi Latte. That's for you, Rabbi Latte. And he told us, okay, let's rewind. When we got to Israel, we stayed at a hotel. A bunch of others aren't from us stay there. And one night, I was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and I got in trouble, okay? It was after curfew, I got in trouble. Hansman and Israel, you guys don't know them. You should know them, but you don't know them yet. Hansman and Israel pulled me out at 4 in the morning, and they just bashed on me, they screamed at me. Like, my first instinct was to make excuses. And I'm good at it. That's why no one ever knows I'm making excuses. Like, I'm really good at excuses. I got through high school last year making excuses. And they pulled me over and they're like, what's wrong with you? I was like, oh, no, it's fine. I was just like getting water or something, blah, 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 blah. And then we came to the understanding that I did do it. But that night, I went to my room and I reflected upon it. You know, it's something hard. Like, I was like mad at them, but I still reflected upon it. And a month later, I had even more chance to reflect upon it. Why are you still red? And it made me realize that I make a lot of excuses in my life. Like, I don't put filling on every morning. I don't go to tour as much as I should. I don't wait to eat. But like, those are all excuses. Like, I could do them. It's just harder for me than like someone else that's like going to, like, let's say Hebrew Academy or Yeshiva.
Yeah.
And some people really take that as a privilege. Like, some people will go there and they have a dedicated time for davening and they wouldn't daven. That just bothers me. So, as we're approaching Yom Kippur, there's a big idea of repenting. It goes back, same thing as being given. I would like to bring up an idea of a person saying Kaddish. When a person's parents pass, God forbid, not upon us, but if a person's father or mother pass, or his siblings, he needs to say Kaddish for a specific amount of time. Why is that? So that when he goes up to heaven, he already has people who are like repenting for him. When he does that, it uplifts the person and he like makes the punishment a little like worse than anything they did that. So on Yom Kippur, we're supposed to experience the same thing, but we're supposed to experience it for ourselves. Like, a lot of people perceive it to be a bad holiday and like a sad holiday. It's really not. It's supposed to be a very happy holiday. Because you get to erase whatever you've done in the past, and you get to make the decisions you want to make, and you get to say, I'm not going to make excuses anymore. I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. to daven every morning. I want to take that 5 extra seconds to go out to tea and go to school with it. I'm going to keep on school. I want to keep Shabbat for the first time. There's so many things that you can expand upon in like Judaism. It's insane. Like, you can never ever do enough of duties. And you should take it as a bad news. It's not that you're never going to be perfect. Nobody is ever going to be perfect. Even Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't perfect. What I'm trying to tell you is, we need to stop making excuses and we need to like start getting things done. And the only way by doing that is by you taking a direct approach, because God is only going to meet you halfway. He's never going to like give you a straight path. That's it. Thank you.